Hey everyone, welcome back to Geeks. In today's video, it's all about you. That's right. Today's video is all about the comments left by you in one of my latest videos on displaying lights in this Haslab Cantina. I want to thank you all for watching. If you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out. I think you'll probably get some pretty decent ideas for your cantina, and not only for the cantina, but you can actually use those ideas for other displays. So today's video, what I'm going to do is, there has been a lot of great comments and suggestions on how to even enhance this even more. So I want to thank you for that. So what do you say? Let's do this!
Come, let me get you some.
I'm actually surprised I did that intro in one take, but let's check out the cantina and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's a look at the cantina. Now, as you can see, it's pretty dark in here, and the cantina in the movie is pretty dark. We have, well, the lighting here is from the lighting in this room. So let me shut that off and check this out. All right, maybe this will help a little bit. So I absolutely love the tabletops, how they have the lighting. But as you can see, the bottom base right here where my finger is, can you see this? The bottom of the tables, you can see the light shining through. So I got a lot of great ideas on how to fix that. So we're going to address that in today's video. Also, over here on the far left, you cannot even see the band members. So we're going to address the lighting for the band members as well as the bar. Now, the bar is pretty dark, so we need lighting for that. The alcoves look really good, but as you can see, the light is kind of bleeding through all around, so we're going to try to address that also. The droid detectors actually look really good. I like that, but I think my main problem with the droid detectors is I need a little bit more slack in the lighting, so I'm going to have to address that. And also this table right here and the one right behind it here, that is on a different light source. That is a battery operated light source. And I don't know about you, but things like that kind of bother me. So I'm going to actually take all this apart and restring it. I'll do it all off camera so you don't have to witness any of that. But I want to make this right. I'm going to do this. This will be probably the last. I'm going to address all those ideas and suggestions from all the comments in the video, which I absolutely love, and thank you for that. But I think it's going to look pretty darn fantastic. And as you can see over here on the far left, I do have extra lights, and those are fairy lights. So I do have plenty of slack that I can restring this, and I think it's going to look good. But first, we're going to start simple, and let's get some lighting in the bar. All right, here's a look at the bar. As you can see, right in the center, and it's pretty dark. A simple solution for me, because I have this in like a cabinet, so I do have a top, is I just put a puck light in here. And check this out. Let me turn it on. Come on. So I just have a simple puck light above. And this is a temperature, color changing temperature, so you can change it from like a warm light to a, let's see if I can do this and show you. See how it changes the temperature in the lighting? So I kind of like it. I think that's warm and not cool. I don't know exactly, but I think that's warm, right? So I think that looks pretty darn cool. Now, as you can see, the shadows from the roof of the bar kind of shines through. I kind of like that. I think it looks cool. I did get a good suggestion on how to kind of filter that out a little bit, and I think it's like with wax paper. So I cut out a piece of wax paper like if you were doing baking, and as you can see, it's a little bit more bright without it. So if I cut it to the size and I just slide it up on top like that, it kind of makes it a little bit more smooth, I guess. I don't know, kind of like dulls it down a little bit. And I think that looks pretty cool. What do you think? And you can change it for, this is pretty much the the dullest I can get it, not the brightest. I don't want it too bright. We want the bar to be pretty dark, and this is the darkest I can get it. But there's a way to make it a little bit darker without, getting a new light. Check this out. So we're going to use the same light, but I come over here to the band. Now the band, I don't want it as bright as this. We kind of want it dark. So what I did was I got a puck light and I just stuck duct tape on top of it, and check it out. So as you can see, there is some duct tape on the puck light, so it's not as bright like this. So there is the band. So now you can see the band, and the band actually kind of flows the color in the light pretty smooth. And if I wanted to, I could get even more and block out even more of the light from the puck. And I think that would be good. And what's good about these is they're battery operated, and it's just a remote to turn on and off, or you can hit it with your finger to turn it on and off. And I like that. It's an easy way to get to it. I don't have to move tables, so this is fine, just doing it above the cantina. And I think this is a pretty decent solution. I think it's probably the best solution for the band members, because either that or you're going to have to get like a spotlight and shine it on it, and maybe get like one of these little, check out these little lights here. So I do have these little lights. I think you can see it. So you just, tighten the bottom of it and it turns it on. And if you aimed it, like maybe make it like a light stand and aim it at the band members, I think that's another solution you could do. You see what I'm talking about? So you could make like a little spotlight and shine it at the band members. That's a pretty decent solution, but for me, I think I'm just going to have the puck light above it, and I think that looks pretty good. I'll show you what tea lights look on top of this if you have, that's your only solution, because you don't have a roof on your display. You don't have it in a little cubby hole like I do. So I'll show you what it looks like above and the bottom inside the base of the bar. But in order to do all this and to do the tables, I'm going to have to remove all the patrons, they call them patrons or Patreons, out of here. They're going to have to leave the bar, and I need an empty space so I can play around. So let's do that right now. So here's the light I was showing you for the cantina. This is another choice you could do. You can make it into a spotlight, make a stand. I got a pack of, I don't know, like 10 to 20 on Amazon for a cheap price. They already come with like 3 batteries inside of it. But again, I don't need something like this. I mean, this works great for underneath tabletops also. But the problem with that is anytime the battery dies or you have to turn it on and off, you have to move the table. And that's why I want a plug-in light and not something I have to turn on and off manually. All right, the bar is closed. Everyone has gone home, except for the band members. Now, let me talk about the band members, because a lot of people are asking me about the stage. Now, the stage, I actually got this from a friend. This was from Valerie at Full Moon Toys and Collectibles. She gifted this to me, and it's part of a display base and stage for the cantina. This was made by someone from, I think she got it from Etsy. At least that's the only place I could find right now. I think they have like 3D printing, like you can purchase the 3D print download, so you can make your own stage, and it comes with a few other accessories. I don't know if they sell it on eBay, but this is just one piece of the stage, and it fits in there pretty good. And I have all 7 band members hot glued. You definitely don't want to use super glue. Hot glue is where it's at. You want to use hot glue, because if you want to remove the figures, you can take them off and it's not going to damage the figures or the base. Just so long as the glue is not too hot. You don't want it too hot. Just enough to stick the band members there. And I think that looks good. But first off, what we're going to do is we're going to put some fairy lights I call it fairy lights, but it's fairy lights. We're going to put it in here in the bar, and I'll show you what that looks like. But we're going to turn this light off. Now you can do it with the remote or just by clicking it like that. So we're going to show you, I'm going to show you what it looks like with the fairy lights. All right, here, I picked these up on Amazon. I think the pack of, what was it, like a pack of 12 maybe, for like $7 or something like that. And I got it from Amazon. And these are battery operated with like a big circle battery. I forget exactly what they call them. And this is pretty darn long. So we're going to, well, no, wait, why do I keep saying we? I'm going to cut this and I'll stick it inside here for a good length. And then we'll see what it looks like with these kind of lights if you want to light up the base of the bar or the top of the bar. Let's check this out. So here are the fairy lights. Look there's plenty here to go inside the bar. So let's check that out. All right, there you go. And I'm not going to lie, I think that looks pretty darn cool. Yeah, that looks really good. I like the fact that it just lights up the base and the bar, and you don't get that shadow effect. I think I like this better than the puck light. I'm not gonna lie. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of that? And this is simple because right here is the on and off switch. So I could shut it off, turn it on. Very simple. You can hide it in front. I could hide it underneath like that. I could hide it anywhere, I guess, the on and off switch. And I think it looks really good. I like how it's smooth lighting around it. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Interesting. And you can still see the band members. I think that's a great option for the puck light above. And the bar does look really good lit up. Let's see what it looks like with the lights on top of the bar. We'll see what that looks like instead of having down here inside the bar. You can see all the fairy lights inside there. But looking at it like this, it actually looks really good. All right, here's a look at the fairy lights on top. Now, I gotta say, I like it a lot better than a puck light. Unfortunately, the lights, you know, they're kind of out of control on top. So what I did was I cut out a piece of tan cardstock. Let's see what that looks like when I put it on top of the lighting. Like if I really tighten that up, make it nice and tidy, you know, weight it down a little bit like that. And that's all the lights. Like if I took out half the lights, it would even be, you know, duller. It wouldn't be as bright. And I think that's another great option. I don't know exactly which one I'm going to do. What do you think? Lights on top with the fairy lights, or the lights down bottom, or the puck light? Jeez, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. What's great about this is I can decide at another time, because I don't know. Let me know in the comments. You're going to help me on this one, because this is a really tough one. I don't know if I want the lights inside the bar, on top of the bar, or use the puck light. And again, here's the puck light, but I'd have to take that off. Actually, what does it look like if I take these fairy lights out of here and just put this on top? Will that do anything? Let me shut these lights off here. No, that doesn't look good. It doesn't shine through, so the puck light is not going to do anything with that there. But you see what I mean? This is actually pretty decent. It actually is cut pretty good. And if I have the fairy lights tucked inside, maybe even string them along a little bit, I don't know how I'll do it to make it look nice and tight, because you want this cardstock to be nice and tight, right? Just like that. That'll be a work in progress, but let me know in the comments which one do you like best. We're going to move on to, let's go over to the tables. I got a lot of great suggestions on how to clear the lighting on that. Check this out. So we're going to have to choose which table to start with. And I think Han Solo's is probably the brightest. So let's try the trick with that table right there. So I think this is going to be a pretty easy solution. So I'm just going to cut some of this cardstock and wrap it inside the table. Let's give that a shot. So I cut a strip of cardstock about that long. I didn't actually measure it, but it's just going to roll inside the table. So check this out. Just like that. And we're going to put this over the light here. So there's the light. Put this over the light and see what that looks like. Perfect solution. Let's shut off the outside lights here first, but yeah, I don't see any light. I think that's a perfect trick. So here's all the tables that we didn't put the cardstock on. We're gonna go over to Han Solo's table and look at that. Perfect solution. So that's an easy trick, so thank you for that. I think that is fantastic. I'm gonna do that with all the tables, and that looks so much better, right? All right, so we addressed the bar somewhat. We have 3 tricks or solutions for that. I'm not sure exactly which one I want to do, but I don't like the puck light. I think the puck light is probably my least favorite. I mean, it does look pretty decent without the, but I think I like it on top. I'm not sure. Do I like it in here? Enough. You guys let me know which one's best. We're going to work on the other tables. But right now, let's check out the solution for those lights. We're going to try to fix the bleeding light around that. So I just want to see the red and the blue lights lit up. I don't want to see everything else around it. So let me show you what I have for that from all the suggestions in the comments. But first thing, I have to take this off, take the tape off the back that's holding the lights. You see that? It's just regular duct tape holding the lights against this. So what I need to do is somehow block out the light against the plastic roof. I could do duct tape, which might work pretty well, or I could use this cardstock right here and just kind of push it against these lights to poke a hole through the cardstock. So I'm going to try that and see what that looks like. All right, I cut a piece of cardstock to sit in the back, and I'm going to try to puncture holes. You see right there? I'm going to puncture holes from the light and see if I can retape the lights to this and see what that looks like. All right, so I poked holes through the cardstock, and then I'm going to put it on this side, and there is little nubs on the other side where hopefully the light will shine through, but not through this plastic, just through the lights. Let's give that a shot, see what it looks like. All right, I rolled up some duct tape on the back side of this so I can stick the cardstock to it like that. And then we'll check it out. Give me a second. All right, the cardstock is attached, and as you can see, the pegs are sticking through the cardstock on the back side. So I'm going to put the light across those pegs, and it should only light the pegs. So let's give it a shot and check it out. All right, before we check out the results, let's look at the other alcove lights right there. And now here's the new one. I think that's so much better. Now behind the chair, you can see the light, so I'm going to put some more cardstock back there, and we'll see what that looks like. All right, I just cut a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to hopefully drop it right behind here. If I can do that. It might be a little difficult to do it with one hand. Give me a second. All right, I made it just a little bit smaller so it fits just like that on the other side. Let's check it out. And there you go. I just dropped it behind there. I didn't tape it or anything. I just laid the cardstock right behind that chair on the outside of the alcove. And I think this looks pretty good. I mean, you see a little bit light down underneath it. I think I can adjust it a little bit, but overall, I think that's so much better. Compared to that, to this, yeah, and you can even adjust it a little bit, the lighting inside there. It takes a little bit, but the results are definitely worth it. So we fixed the table, we fixed the lights in the alcove. I think the droid detectors are great. I wish they flash, but I'm fine with that. I think they look pretty good. I just need a little bit more slack. I need to restring all the lights because I don't want these on battery. I want them to be all one unit. We've worked on the cantina lights. I think that's a good solution for that. The bar, I'm going to leave that one up to you. Let me know what you like best. Do you like the puck light? Do you like the lights inside the bar itself or on top of the bar? Let me know in the comments. But what I'm going to do behind the scenes, I'm going to shut off the camera. I'm going to take this all apart, restring it, put cardstock underneath each table, behind each alcove lighting, and give it a little bit more slack. Might take me a little bit, but I'm going to have fun doing it. And that's what I love about setting up dioramas. It's fun. It's a little project. It's like building a model or building a diorama. And it comes out looking like that. Heck yeah. I think it's worth it. So let me get to work and then I'll show you the results. All right, real quick. I covered the back of the alcove with a piece of cardstock. Duct taped it to the back. And I think that'll block out the light. And I think that'll work pretty well. I chose the beige to match. I might change this color to beige also instead of black, just because. I mean, not that you're ever going to see it. Well, I won't see it, but if you have it displayed without, a unit like this, you might want to choose like a beige cardstock instead. Just a tip. And here's a quick tip in order to poke the holes. So what I did was I already duct taped the cardstock to the roof of the alcove. And what I'm going to do is stick a needle through those holes and poke a hole through it. Make it a little bit wider going from the back side. Wiggle it around. And then put the little light post back inside here. And I think that'll be a lot easier to do. So there you go. Poke the hole through just like that. And then I'm going to put the light back in, those little pegs. And I think that's going to work fantastic. And it was so easy to do. And there you go. Perfect. Look at that. All right. All the alcoves have been removed. The bars removed. So what I'm going to do now is take this out, readjust all the lighting here. Again, I want to put the plug-in lights where these two tables were. These are the battery operated lights. So I want to readjust everything and then we'll set it back up, put all the alcoves back, and we'll see what it looks like. And real quick, this is what the alcove looks like. We have the cardstock on the back wall as well as the roof. I put a little bit of extra duct tape there to keep it secure. There is duct tape holding this inside between the wall and the roof and the cardstock. Keep that in place. I think that looks pretty good just like that. I mean, if I didn't have that duct tape on the wall, it would look better. But again, I'm not going to see it. It's going to be in here. So I would suggest if you're going to have your wall exposed, I wouldn't put that last piece of duct tape over it. Because I think that cardstock matches pretty well, don't you think? All right, all the lights are been reset, put through all the holes. I gave extra, hopefully extra slack, so it's a little bit easier to manipulate the lighting. And then now I'm going to lay down the floor liner, and then I'll lay down all the alcoves and the bar. I might actually use, there's a little bit extra of the fairy lights, I might actually run that in the back and across the top of the bar and see what that looks like also. So yeah, I have a little bit more work to do. Almost there. All right, the liner floor is down, storing all the lights through. Now I'm going to set up the alcoves and the bar, and we'll take a look at that. All right, that's what it looks like when I tape the lights to the back side of the alcove, and we can see what it looks like. Pretty cool. Here's a little tip. When setting up the lights for the alcove, it's always good to have more slack than you need. See how there's extra lights on the outside? I would even do a little bit more than that in between. I still feel like I should have had a little bit more slack so I could have 4 of these bulbs wrapped just like that. And it's good to have 4 so you can try to light up all 4 bulbs. All right, last step here. I left extra fairy lights, and I can bring it on the top of the bar, or I could actually string it in the bottom of the bar. I'm going to do it on the top for now, but I can always change it, and that's cool because I have extra here, and that'll wrap completely around the top, and we'll see what that looks like. All right, perfect. I have just enough lights to wrap completely around. I put a little bit of the beige duct tape to secure the lights from moving. What's great about it is there's copper for the lights, and it matches perfectly on the bar because there's so much copper there anyways. So I'm just going to put the cardstock on top to complete the look, and we'll check that out. So you can either do the cardstock or the wax paper. This is the wax paper, and I think that looks pretty good like that. But let's use this cardstock, put it on top, just to finish it up a little bit. Make it like that. How's that look? Not too bad, right? I'll straighten it out a little bit. Actually, I really don't like the cardstock too much on top. I'd rather have the wax paper. It hides the duct tape, and you could still see like the rafters on the roof and stuff like that. See that? So that doesn't look too bad like that, right? All right, there it is all set up. Let's take a closer look. The best way to look at this setup is with my room lights off. And I like it. I think it looks really good. I'm not sure if it's too bright. Now I do have some of the table lights where the light bulb is through the table and into the lantern itself, versus this one here, the lights are more sunken down. So I wanted to change it up a little bit. Some of them are brighter than others. And I think if I have a room that's bright, I can see the characters a little bit better. But again, I can drop the light deeper in the table, and it'll make it a little bit darker of a light, a dimmer light. But I think it looks good. Unfortunately, back here, you can kind of see the lights from behind that are wrapped around to go onto the top of the bar. But once I put figures in there, you probably won't even see it. And then we have the alcove lights. The red and blue lights look fantastic on both sides there, as well as that alcove looks great. I love the droid detectors. Look how the blue lights up back there on both sides. You can't really see the other one, but you can see the glow from the blue. And then this is the booth where Han Solo is going to be. Again, I can dim the light down, which I probably will. I'll just drop the light down deeper. And I think the bar itself actually looks really good, having the lights on top like that. I did end up putting the cardstock on top, because if I don't, it kind of just brightens it up too much on top. I think that looks pretty good just like that. I mean, it's not perfect, but I don't know. For me, it's pretty darn close. I'm going to throw some aliens and creatures in here, and we're going to take another look when it's complete. But overall, I think it's fantastic, and I want to thank you all for your comments in my last video, giving me some advice for the tables. Now I don't see any light underneath the tables, and there's no bleeding through the alcoves with the lights there. I think that looks great, as well as the bar top. I think the bar top's a great idea also, and the band light looks great too. So let's set it all up and take a better look with all the aliens in here. All right, all set. Took a while to set all these figures up. There's quite a few aliens, and I think it looks good. I do like the bar. I think the bar looks pretty decent. It's lit up. Again, if you want the bottom of the bar lit up, just put fairy lights inside there. That'll illuminate that pretty well. But overall, I think it looks good. I love all the suggestions everybody gave me between the tables, the alcoves, and the bar lighting. Definitely made me rethink a little bit, and I think it looks decent. Let me shut off the lights in the room. We'll take a closer look at this. Definitely looks a lot better with my room light shut off. Look at that. Looks so cool. It still is dark, but it's not so dark that you can't see everything. And look at the bar. The bar actually looks really good with the lights above it. And in the movie, the lights are above the bar. I don't think the bar base is lit up.
Hey, we don't serve their kind here.
What?
Your droids, they'll have to wait outside. We don't want them here.
So this actually looks pretty good. I want to tighten it up a little bit, like I said, but overall, I think it looks great. I like the alcoves look great with the red and blue lights, all nice and tidy. Absolutely love the entryway with the blue droid detectors lighting up 3PO and Luke. You can see them great in there. So overall, I had a blast setting this up. Sure, the Haslab should have came with lighting. I shouldn't have had to do this, but I don't know, how would they do it? It would be near impossible for them to do that. Every alcove would have to have its own power source, because this is module, so you can make it your own. So I definitely understand the reason why they couldn't do it, or why they didn't do it. And I'm fine with that, because I like this. I like trying to use my imagination and using suggestions from all the comments and trying to make this the best I can make it. And look at the bar. The bar looks great now, right? With the lighting above it. And it's not so bright when I put like that on. See, it's a little too bright that way. So if I just shut that off. Let me shut it off. Come on, shut off. Nothing's so easy, is it? There we go. Yeah, looks great. Absolutely love it. So thank you again for all the comments and suggestions. I hope this helps you. I know, even if you don't have the Haslab Cantina, this can help you maybe with some other displays that you have, give you ideas for lighting. But I absolutely love it. And check this out. I have another craft going on. So here's my next project I'm working on. And this is the attack from the Tusken Raiders. So G-Force gave me a suggestion, because I wanted to find like rocks and stuff like that. He says, why don't you just make the mountains and the rocks out of foam board? Perfect. So thank you for that suggestion. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make some mountains. I'm going to make the cave for R2-D2 for when he was hiding from the Tusken Raiders. And I'm just going to enhance this, paint it up, and carve some mountains out of that foam board. And that'll be my next project that I show you guys. And hopefully this will help give you some ideas on displaying your figures or your play sets. I think it's pretty cool. Wow, that took quite a while. And I know what you're thinking. Are you crazy? You're starting another project? Yeah, I absolutely love setting up displays. And let me know. I'm sure you have your cantina by now if you ordered the Haslab Cantina. And if you did, are you displaying yours with lighting, or are you just going to display it without lighting? I'm curious. Are you setting up a floor? Are you just going to leave it in the box? Because all of the above actually is fine, because I think that's what's great about collecting is we all display differently, and that's why it's fun watching videos like this or other videos, because it gives you ideas, or it just makes you appreciate some of the things that you have or want. And I love it. I love seeing other people's displays, because again, my display looks totally different than the next person. So I absolutely love it. But let me know in the comments, are you going to set up lighting in yours? I hope so. And thanks again for all the comments. But again, this video has gone way too long and I am breaking a sweat. It is hot in here and I had a good time doing it. I think it looks great. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. Remember, we are all geek strong. Take care, everyone.